but I was the janitor, so I went in and the toilet is just plugged. And I'm like,
Oh,
what in
bless
the
you.
world? And I kind of started to plunge it and it's pulling and I'm
No,
like, what is that?
I'm not
And
ready.
so I got the like strap and I'm like, that's a diaper. And
No,
I had to get scissors down in the S bend
no.
and cut the diaper apart to get it out of the S bend because the inside of the diaper, the little jelly ball things that
Yeah.
are in it just swell
Oh,
up and just filled it. Welcome back to Privy. Privy is a podcast about bathrooms, recorded from my home bathroom. I'm your host, Hunter Hoover, and I love bathrooms. And I'm joined virtually, but he is in his home bathroom. I'm joined by Jesse Turkington. Jesse, how are you?
hey Hunter. Hey listeners. I'm good. I'm glad to be here.
So I'm going to just share briefly up at the front, and then I'm going to let Jesse kind of share who he is. But this is kind of a weird format for Jesse and I. Jesse and I are very used to recording podcasts together because we are working on a project called Pickled Parables via Parable Ministries, and Jesse will share a little bit about that later. But once a month, we sit down and we do this. But the conversation's a little more serious and it's a little more important, just to be 100% honest. But I really appreciate you, Jesse. And you really went for it. You are in a, I was commenting before the record, that lighthouse picture in the background
Oh, yeah.
is phenomenal. So, yeah, he's in his bathroom, which is, he leveled it up. That's initiative right there. But Jesse, feel free to share a little bit about who you are, and you can share your deepest, darkest secrets, all the way or as little as, "Hi, I'm Jesse. I'm wearing a black shirt today."
Got it. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I'm Jesse. I'm currently in my parents' bathroom, which is decorated and designed to be like a beach with a
Let's
lot of
go.
lighthouses, and it's like a yellowy room. For those listening, I'm just trying to paint a picture for you so you can imagine
Oh
and be
yeah.
here with us. Maybe you're in your bathroom and you're just hanging out with Hunter and I here.
Yeah.
So the vibe in mine right now is lighthouses, ships and boats, an alligator head over in the corner, and
What?
a stained glass window hanging above my window. It's
There's
very
there's an alligator head in
yeah,
this bathroom.
straight from Florida. It's like kind of taxidermied, but super hardened.
Oh, no, I know the type. My dad's from Florida, and so
Oh, okay.
like I'm very aware of that exact vibe.
Yeah, it's a
Dude.
baby guy,
Yeah, oh,
small
okay.
little. Yeah,
Hey, but still, man. Oh, I might pitch to Anna an alligator head right between our mirrors in our bathroom here
ooh,
because there's a
nice.
blank wall space. Um, ooh, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Anyhow,
awesome.
so that's where I'm at right now. What I do for a living, I serve as the executive director of a Bible teaching nonprofit called Parable Ministries. And Parable Ministries is kind of a passion project for me. It just started out as a little podcast called Pickled Parables in 2020, I believe. And from there, it grew with partnering with other Bible teachers, getting Hunter involved, getting him on the boat was fun, and then it grew to several. We're up to 3 podcasts now, and we have a full website. We're on different social spaces, and it's a dream come true for me. I love it. It's something I would love to do forever. So I focus a lot of my time on Parable Ministries. Today, I just finished recording through the Gospel of Mark. That's something that's project number 2 that I'm
Yeah.
juggling. I do that for a podcast called My Dusty Bible, and that's a podcast about reading through the book of the Bible or reading through the books of the Bible one episode at a time. Each episode is a full chunk, a full book of the Bible. So next up was the Gospel of Mark, and I just finished recording that today. So now I get to take that raw audio and slap it down like a slab of meat and just start cutting away at the pieces and splicing it together and
He
making it
gets
sound
to
pretty.
he gets to edit for hours.
Yeah.
Uh, it's Jesse, that just to give listener, if you're, I just want to say this, if you're listening to this podcast enjoyer, I actually timed, so an episode of Privy is normally between 30 minutes and an hour, and I timed it to like write for a regular episode, to write it, record it, and edit it. It's about 3 to 4 hours, and that produces
Mm.
like 40 minutes. And so I can't imagine the amount of just manpower and time that you are really going for it, um recording these books of the Bible, that the finished product is sometimes 2 to 4, sometimes I think one isn't. Was when you did Genesis, was it almost 5 hours? Was it
Oh
pushing it?
gosh. Uh,
It was big.
I remember Jenny. So I started out with Genesis in a different translation,
Mhm.
and we switched translations.
Yes.
We gotta deal with Tyndale to read it in the New Living Translation.
Shout out
And
to Tyndale.
when I did that, we started at the back of the Bible, and we're now working our way
Yeah.
forward. So we went to Revelation, and we're going back to Genesis now. So I did Genesis a long time ago. I don't remember the finished product time, but I know that the raw audio time of recording was about 8 hours.
Woof. That's wild. Um, that's a that's a that that file will make your computer spin. Um,
Yes. I just-
wow.
yeah.
Uh,
It took
man,
for Mark, which is the smallest of the Gospels. That took about 3 days, or about 2.5 days for me to record.
that's wild. Um, so I have one question about these long record times.
Yeah.
How often do you stop for like a bathroom break in there, or are you just like soldiering through?
No, no. So I play a game with myself when I have to record, because I get so depressed sometimes when I see all the like pages I have left. I'll do uh 5 chapters,
Uh-huh.
sometimes four, and I take a break. And
Okay.
then I'll take a break. I'll do a couple squats. I'll walk around the room. I'll cry and I'll
Staying
pray and
fit.
I'll say, God, this is
He's
horrible.
crying.
And then this is a little peek behind the curtain.
Yeah.
And then I'll go use the restroom if I need to, and then I'll come back and do 5 more. And then that's the goal. With
Man.
Mark, I modified it because there's 16 chapters in Mark. And so I did 4 chapters, so that I would try to do like
Yeah. Chunk it
four,
up.
4, 4, and then I could do that way just 4 times. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like the first day, I got through 8 chapters easily, and then the next day, I just had such a hard time getting through 5 chapters. I
Yeah.
got through 4.5 essentially, and I hit a wall where so reading and enunciating is kind of hard for me. I'll be honest. Like
Yeah.
I had a speech impediment as a kid, and I went to speech therapy. I had to learn how to say
Yeah.
L, R's, and S's.
Hmm.
And so when I start reading and talking a lot, I slip up, and then the old sounds I used for those L,
Man.
R, and S would come through, and
Yeah.
so that creates frustration for me because it's like, oh, I'm not
Right.
getting the
Right.
sounds right, and so when I'm reading for such long periods of time, that will come through a lot near the end, and so
Interesting.
I
Yeah.
have to pace myself. It's like my tongue muscle gets tired or something, and I have to
Hmm.
stop. So I
Man.
hit a
Okay.
wall on my second day, and I just couldn't get through
Yeah.
that last chapter. So stopped early and then went back this morning and cranked it out till noon.
Wow. Man. That's I did not know that. That's props for you for like taking on that endeavor, and I imagine, that it's one of those things where I don't know, you can correct me, but it strikes right when you're like, I just need to,
Yeah.
I need to get this, and that's usually when it hits.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Man, Wow. And the other thing, and you can later on if you're like, yeah, we don't need to, but correct me if I'm wrong. You said you recorded one book of episode of My Dusty Bible in a bathroom. Is that correct?
Yeah, I did.
Let's
The Book of
go.
Romans. If so,
Yes.
anyone listening right now, if you're a big fan of bathrooms, the episode Romans of My Dusty Bible was recorded in a bathroom.
And it's
Go check it out.
I'm gonna tell you, Jesse, it's actually very fitting that you did Romans from a bathroom because
Oh no.
as well, as like, so this show has kind of taken on like me just really getting farther into the internet than I want sometimes. But so much of bathroom just things goes back to Rome.
Hmm.
Rome or France. Search me, but like France has had their hand on the ball more times than not.
Hmm.
Uh but ancient Rome, it like the amount of things that they tried or did that we have just kind of updated and played on. So it's very fitting that you did Romans from a bathroom because yeah,
Yeah.
they have a rich bathroom history.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, so Jesse, the way that the show usually goes is I have a series of questions that I ask everybody. Um, and as we go through, if a lot of times what happens is if people hear a question and they'll be like, oh, I guess I kind of have a thing that I could talk about there. Feel free to stop me anytime you want. And so I'll start by, do you have anything off the top of your head that you want to share? It can be a bathroom story. It can be as simple as like, yeah, this one time I went into the bathroom and I heard a guy struggling for his life. Anything. Um,
I, I really don't have any
yeah,
great bathroom stories. I have a question that,
yeah.
as I guess the official bathroom guy, that I want to ask you. I don't know, and so maybe you know.
Yeah.
But
Oh boy.
for scuba divers, when they go scuba diving,
What?
how far do you think, like water pressure? How far do you think they have to go before they can't poop?
Before they're unable?
Yeah, like the pressure is
Ah,
pushing in. Is it pretty far?
I don't know. See, so like I said, I just recorded an episode, and during that episode, and yours and theirs will come out about a month apart. Um, but during that episode, this person's like, "Yeah, I saw on Facebook that people eat steak in the shower," and I'm like, "You did
What?
not." Yeah, exactly.
No.
But Jesse, the question that you've just asked is, how far down does scuba have to go before you just can't poop?
Mhm.
I know there's an answer, and I will be looking into it. I
Also,
can,
part 2 to that question,
yeah.
how do they poop? Because
Well,
you can't go up fast because with the pressure system, you have to go up certain levels and let your body adapt to to the different pressure
yeah.
and then move. So if you got to go, you can't just like swim up to the top.
I my, so my hunch is they just go
Oh, okay.
because uh, bike like professional cyclists, like marathon, long distance cyclists, and long
No.
distance runners. Yeah, they have porta potties, but often the amount of time that they can shave by not stopping, getting off their bike, using the porta potty, if they're far enough into the race that like I've talked to, I haven't had him on the show, but I've talked to a guy at the high school who cycles, but he also does like cross country type, and he told me like, yeah, it's a thing, and the calculation is how much more racing do I have to where if I stop, will I lose or will it cost me my time? But if I don't stop, will the chafing that
Oh,
results in just doing it into your pants, will that also set me back to the point where I will lose time? And that's the calculation. But there's like people that, yeah, I just go, I just let it fly while I run and a lot of
wow.
people, it might be similar to scuba, but for different, like scuba might be a pressure problem where you just can't. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're in, because a lot of people when they're running, their blood is
Mm.
pumping to their extremities and stuff to keep it
Mm-hmm.
like you alive while you do that. That they can't poop. Like it sometimes they'll even be constipated days after.
Oh
It's like
wow.
runner's poop. Yeah, it's oh yeah. It's so my I'm wondering if it's something similar with scuba where
Oh, interesting.
the yeah, the exterior effects on your body shut things down. I will be looking into it. Um
Okay.
yeah.
Man,
Dude, that's the
wow.
do you scuba? Have you ever do I know this?
I no, I haven't scuba. I like
Okay.
snorkeling, but
Okay.
scuba, like I once looked into becoming an underwater welder for like an oil rig,
Mm,
and it was something I was like, I could do
yeah.
that. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's a dangerous job with
It's
different
yeah.
situations, and I have a friend who did it, and he just
Yeah.
has such incredible stories of
Yeah.
being under the deep, deep, dark blue and just wild things happening.
Man, yeah. Yeah, it's dangerous, but my understanding is it pays like woofy.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's like money.
My buddy who did it worked for a handful of years, got out
Yeah.
of it, bought houses, and that's what he does now.
Oh, classic real estate.
Yeah.
um, yeah, I know there's so much money in real estate. I just the you have to either hire the upkeep and yeah, I anyway.
Hmm.
I I I've looked at it because I got so many friends and people that are like, we're realtors or we're real estate agents, which apparently is a different thing. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a licensing thing. Like
Oh,
one of them is like maybe they cut some corners and it's like black market realtor type thing. I
oh,
don't know.
what?
But
I had no
yeah,
idea.
there's real estate agent and realtor are different. And it's like you're licensing
Hmm.
and yeah, you're brokering. I'd have to ask. I have a coworker at the high school. Her husband is the legit one,
Hmm.
and she has told me multiple times she'll rant about how oh so and so they're just the I don't remember which one's which, but they're just the other one because they don't actually do it and they're taking all the business, but people are they get hosed when they go to close because all these licensing are weird. And then you have to pay this third party to help you license. And it's like,
Hmm.
oh man, I see that. I want nothing to do with that.
Hmm.
Um, I don't like bookkeeping or numbers or money. And I'm just like, go away with it. But yeah, so that's a good question. The scuba, um, yeah, because when you're in a submarine, they like counteract the pressure. I was trying to think of submarining
Oh.
stuff, but I know that they pressurize it so that way it's you don't feel the effects of the outside. So yeah,
Hmm.
I'd be interested. Or I wonder if this is the dark side. I think you would go so far down that you would just not be able to hold it. I wonder if that's the case where it's just like,
Interesting. So you like wear a diaper type of thing?
I, yeah, or just let nature just, void it straight into the ocean.
Oh, like a little trap door, like those big
Oh,
onesies where you like
I just think
unbutton the back.
when there's that much water, I think it's just going to rinse itself right through the scuba suit.
Oh, I
Maybe
didn't
I
even
don't know.
think of that. That's
I don't
such.
even
Oh,
know. Yeah,
okay.
there's I'm gonna be doing some research now. Future topic pending.
Okay.
No, that's funny. So first question for you, Jesse, is what type of toilet paper do you use, or do you prefer?
Gotcha.
Do you have a preference?
I do have preference of what I don't like, but I don't have a preference of what I
Okay.
like need type of
Yeah.
thing. So
w-
I when I would buy toilet paper, I would avoid the single sheets because they would just
right.
disintegrate when I looked at them.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Um, and whenever I see them in a public restroom, my heart gets really sad for a
Yeah.
little bit, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh no.
Well.
But for other kinds, I don't like the super thick kind
Okay.
because it always tricks me out. Because I'll be honest, I bounce around a lot of places,
Hmm.
so I'm pretty used to the single sheet.
Hmm.
But when I get to the thick kind, I'm used to taking a lot.
Yeah.
because of the single. But with the big stuff, you don't need a lot. You need like one square, and
Yeah.
then you can clog the toilet with that big stuff
Mm-hmm.
because you're used to the little stuff. So I don't like that going from the small to the big stuff. If I could just take that medium Costco stuff,
Yes.
that's what I need.
That's I so I have asked like 30 people this question. And I've had a handful of people say, yeah, I like Costco. But then when I'm like, yeah, I use Costco, that's like all I use. Everybody, I have not found a single person that has a grievance against Costco toilet paper. It's
Nice.
nobody's first choice. Like nobody, very few people are like, yeah, I choose Costco above all else. But everybody's like, yeah, I get it. Like it's cheaper. It's not so paper thin. Um, yeah, I want the public school district that I work for to atone for their sins because
Mm.
they have by far the lowest quality toilet paper
Uh,
that can be bought. It
mm-hmm,
it is truly a crime.
mm-hmm.
To the point where like there have been times we go into the men's bathroom, the staff bathroom, and there is just somebody has brought their home roll and just is
Nice.
stuck the home roll in the back. And I've gone for it. I'm like, listen, you left it in here for me. If you didn't want
Mm-hmm.
me to partake, you should have taken it back to your classroom. Um, but yeah, it's a terrible, terrible thing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, it's baffling. But okay, so you're kind of toilet paper agnostic. Uh, I agree. There's nothing worse in this world. Well, there is some things where there's a lot of things worse in this world, but um, but in the bathroom, when you go to wipe, and if it's just crass, but when the toilet paper's so thin that your finger goes through,
Mm.
you that I get so quiet and just kind of like introspectively frustrated whenever that I'm faced with that because it's
Yeah,
like this
it's the
can't be.
sadness. It's the
Yeah,
overwhelming sadness. It's a
yeah.
pit of despair.
We have robots that are trying to replicate everybody's everything, and we can't figure out how to like both make the paper thin and eco-friendly and not rip immediately. Like we've got
Mm.
to be able to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when your toilet paper's on the roll, is your toilet paper folding
Ooh,
over or is it an
yeah.
under? Are you an over
No,
under?
no. I have pretty strong feelings about this. At
Oh, I
other
do. Yeah,
people's houses, I flip it
you
when I see
do.
it.
Oh
Oh yeah,
my
pretty
goodness.
strong.
Oh boy.
It's the over,
Oh, yeah.
unless they have cats.
Oh my gosh, Jesse. Okay. All right. So you are not the first to bring up the cats
Yeah.
as a problem. And I
Yeah.
am convinced that the cats are going to get it no matter what. I don't have
No.
cats. I don't have cats, so I don't know. Um and I'm kind of cat agnostic and that I'm not convinced that they exist or should exist. No. Uh
Oh no.
I would never harm a cat, but I would also never own one. Um
That's fair.
So you will flip it. If you go to someone's home, you'll
Yeah.
flip it around, huh?
Unless I know
Man.
that they have an indoor cat, then I'll leave that. That's my condition. That's my grace to them.
Oh. So I so you and Anna are in agreement because Anna is like it must go over. Every other configuration is bad.
Hmm.
I do not believe that it matters. In fact, I have a conspiracy theory that I'm doing a lot of research on. It's like one of those episodes that will land probably somewhere 2025, 2026 because I'm trying to like build it.
Oh wow.
Um but just sneak peek on I'm convinced that the man who designed toilet paper had everybody do flip over so he would sell more like I'm confident that there's a
Mm.
piece of marketing to sell more toilet paper. um I haven't been able to prove it yet. I'm working on it. But I don't care. Like in my opinion is if I get it on the roll, I have succeeded as a human. uh
Halfway
and
there, yeah.
yeah, halfway. Oh, I think it's very bold that you change it though, because I would never notice. Like if you came to our house and I had put it on quote unquote the wrong way, um, and you flipped it, I would never know. In fact, I'm confident that Anna flips ours and I don't even notice. Because I'm like, yeah, it's on there. I'm actually sometimes I won't even put it on. I'll just set it on top and just like put it
Oh
back. It's
sure,
not even
yeah.
on the roll. Like I don't have time for that.
I
Um,
mean, sometimes when you're getting really low, and you get a more
yes.
full or fuller roll, and you put that on, then you just leave the other one around so you can use it up,
Yes,
right?
yes. Well, and Charmin sells a roll extender now, so you can actually like
Huh?
get a little more space in between the wall and your roll.
Whoa!
I don't own one. I'm looking into it because Costco, their roll when it's full is like just too tight against the
It is
wall.
pretty
It's
big. I never noticed, but in this bathroom I'm in, it's got a pretty deep cavity for that
mm,
roll to just sit in there.
does it kind
That's
of regress into the
it
wall?
does regress.
Oh, that's a
That's kind of
premium
a
job.
wow.
Whoever, yeah, you don't see
High
that often.
quality.
That's actually like that's a rarity to see nowadays.
I'll take a
Um,
picture. I'll send it to you.
oh yeah, yeah. There's a lot in this bathroom that I want pictures of. A sentence that will be taken out of context at some point in my life. So Jesse, you've already kind of spoken to it, but so it really depends on the sheet. But how many sheets when you go for the job? How many sheets would you say is like this is the perfect number of squares that I'm
Ooh,
getting on
it's a
here?
good thing I'm in a bathroom because I'm a visual guy. So we
Mm-hmm.
got one, two, three.
Yeah, let's
I'd say four.
four. It's
Yeah. So
acceptable.
yeah, I'm holding up to the camera right now, and I think that's a.
Yeah.
I fold it. I like to fold my paper.
Oh, praise be to He, because
So
there's these
yeah,
people, there's these crumple people
just
in the
put you
world.
there. They
Have
crumpies?
you've ever met? You ever? Okay, I don't know under what context you would ever see somebody wiping, but there are people that crumple their toilet paper to wipe, and
I think
and
I
and
can
it
only
truly is
understand
like
that.
it's like this,
Ooh, like a
and yep.
like what you're trying to do when you use a tissue to blow your nose and
Yeah,
you
to me, it looks like they have just caught a spider and have like
yeah
crumpled this up, but now instead of throwing it away,
multi-use yeah.
right back for it.
Mm-hmm.
And as I love my boy, but my boy has somehow figured out how to be a crumpler,
Oh.
despite neither of his parents have taught
Mm-hmm.
him this. I don't know
Mm.
where this method came from. Um,
Hmm.
I have tried to correct the course, and he's like, "No, Dad, this is better." And I'm like,
Hmm.
"How?" It's an indefensible position, son. Um,
You know, you just sparked a thought in my
yeah.
mind when we were talking about the crumples. I think I said the word tissue paper. I'm a big fan. If I don't if I don't have access
Oh
to
yeah.
nice toilet paper, I'm a big fan of using like Kleenex or tissue
Yeah.
paper
100%.
because it's so soft.
Well, and I'll probably get canceled, but it's flushable. Kleenex
Is it not?
puffs. I thought so.
I thought so.
Because whenever like allergy season, we're at the tail end of allergy season.
Yeah.
Thank the Lord. But when it's in the throes of allergy season, I am blowing my nose so often
Mm,
that it goes in the toilet because
mm.
I'm filling a trash if I'm and
Yeah.
I'll do 3 or 4 in there and then hit the flusher. I'm hoping it's
Well, I
yeah,
never heard of them not being. They
it
look
has to
this
be.
says Kleenex 100 years. I feel like they've had plenty of time to
But
figure out.
but I'm wondering. So I think Jesse, my concern is not. I'm pretty confident it's flushable. The question is it flushable in the sense of like how they have the dude wipes that they say are flushable, but they're not
Oh,
like they do get stuck in the works or
do they
like
really? I've never used a
oh
dude
yeah
wipe.
oh it's kind of a premium experience, but yeah, you're not supposed to flush them. It says flushable, but like if you ask like plumbers or even like if you talk to people that have used them and they have their own plumbing problems, they're like, yeah, don't flush these. Feminine
Really?
hygiene products, same thing. You're not
Oh,
supposed
well,
to flush those. Yeah,
I see many signs for that,
yeah,
over my years.
yeah. Dude, when I worked as a janitor in Salem, somebody flushed a diaper, like a children's.
No,
Yeah,
but that
and so
doesn't even
then
make sense, though.
yeah,
But why?
people didn't do a lot that made sense where I
Oh
worked there. But
no.
but I was the janitor, so I went in and the toilet is just plugged. And I'm like,
Oh,
what in the
bless you.
world? and I kind of started to plunge it, and it's pulling, and I'm
No,
like, what is that?
I'm not
And
ready.
so I got the like strap, and I'm like, that's a diaper. And
No.
I had to get scissors down in the S bend
No.
and cut the diaper apart to get it out of the S bend, because the inside of the diaper, the little jelly ball things that are
Yeah.
in it just swell
Oh,
up and just filled it. And I'm like, this is madness. I
no.
like there's a trash can. I get that it stinks, but this can't be better. Yeah. I've learned a lot that people, when it comes to bathroom common sense, many people do not have it.
Wow.
Um yeah.
This is a needed podcast. We need to have this
Oh,
etiquette.
I I Jesse, I have so many just dumb stories. That yeah. Um so in your and you can interpret this however you want, hand washing or
Okay.
showering. But
Okay.
are you a bar soap or a liquid soap guy?
Ooh. Wow. What a way to phrase that.
Yeah.
So I think for hand washing, I prefer liquid.
Okay.
And for the shower, I mean, I'm not opposed to like that Dove bar, you know,
Yeah.
or what's that green one? Lucky something? No,
Irish Spring.
there it is. Oh,
Yep.
that's right. Irish Springs.
Yep. My dad
Um,
used that my entire childhood. That
hmm,
was his bar of soap. Irish Spring
okay,
Green Bar. Yep.
yeah. I if I'm using the bar, I think I prefer that Dove,
Hmm.
that white Dove. Uh, I found I found this bathroom body wash I'm a big fan of. It has like these little little bits of sand in it.
Ooh, a little grit.
Yeah, and it works really well for when you're out working in the yard and you get that lawn dust all over you, and you got to go in
Yeah.
to just and it's just stuck on you. That dust, it's like using that old like my dad. He has this
Pumice.
special soap that has a lot of grit in it, but you're
Yeah.
not supposed to use water with it. You just put it on your hands and you just for minutes,
S-
and it'll
Soap
get
you don't use water with?
yeah, and you get like oil. It just pulls anything off you, and so
I've
I'm
never heard. I'm learning all sorts of stuff. Waterless. Wait. Okay. I gotta.
and then you go and wash like you wash it off when you're done spreading it everywhere, but you gotta let it sit and pull things off your skin.
That's wild.
Yeah,
Yeah. I will be looking into that. I.
I'll send you a picture.
Man. Yeah. Please do. Again. Uh. This bathroom. I might have to go make a trip. No. Uh.
No, he
You're
keeps
so.
that's the special stuff. He keeps that in the
Oh
workshop. That's
shoot.
no, you don't use that
Okay.
just for like washing your hands. No.
Oh. Okay, so primarily liquid, but you'll go for bar
Yeah.
every now and then. Okay. Uh you ever so you ever think about like leaving your dad a message in one of them bar soaps that he's got? Like carving him a little message in it?
Oh, I have not.
Yeah, it's thought. People do that apparently. People will carve each other messages in bar soap, I found out. And ever
Wow.
since I found it out, I was like, well, I'm gonna start asking people because you never know.
I'll be
I had a
honest. I don't really like the idea of sharing my like I've always had my bar soap.
Oh, yeah. So here's one of those stories that I can share because Anna shared it publicly on the internet 2 or 3 years back. But when and I love my wife, and I had to tell her, I said, this isn't normal behavior. But when they were growing up, her and her siblings all shared a bar of soap.
Hmm.
Like, and she is the
Is she
middle of
okay?
7,
Oh,
and
7.
is one of I think it's truly one of those things where like if you don't know any better growing up and that's all you like, yeah,
Sure.
like why would you? But when she told me that, I was like, that's wild. Like, didn't you ever stop and think what your brother had done with that bar of soap at any
Yeah.
point? Like,
Yeah.
I would I no, like it's me. That's my soap. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm borderline that way with my liquid soap. I don't really like people getting
Oh.
into it because
Mhm.
I'll shower at the church during the school year because I get up and do a little workout and then I go to the church and shower and then I work and then I go to school and I leave my soap in the thing and every now and then it'll have moved and I'm like, oh no. Um,
Mhm.
it's like it's not that I don't like sharing. I'm afraid somebody has put something in it, like dye, or I've seen too many
Oh,
like YouTube
what?
videos
Really?
of. Oh yeah, oh yeah, dude. You
Whoa.
put a little blue hair dye in there, and I'm
No.
so sketched out that I'm gonna like blue my
Oh,
hair.
that's so mean.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now that I've said it, somebody's gonna do it, and I'm gonna have
Uh,
blue hair at some point. I will shave myself bald if that happens.
oh no.
I will go baby face and bald on top if I end up with blue hair or anything. Um,
Man.
yeah. Jesse, what's your opinion on baths? How do you feel about baths?
Oh, big fan. I like
Big
baths.
fan.
I
Do you,
like Epsom salt baths.
okay.
Um,
Do you ever feel when you're taking a bath that you're just like making soup from yourself?
wow. I never have thought of that before, but that's probably all I'm gonna ever think about next time I have a bath.
No, I've ruined it. Yeah, that's. I want to be a person that likes baths. Um, I just can't. I can't get past just that. I'm like a human tea bag at that point.
Well, sure. I mean, yeah, of course, but it's the it's for the achy joints and
Yeah,
the muscle you pulled in your lower back, and you're just letting that heat just permeate and soak in there.
yeah. That's probably wise. I should probably venture down this road. Um, I've found that at some point between the age of 20 and 30, everything is just like, yeah, you might as well hurt today.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's fun. It's really interesting. I stood up. Old man problem. Here we go. I was at the gym 2 weeks ago. I did a little bit of cardio, and then I sat down to do some sit-ups. I did 2 sit-ups, threw out my back, and my back hurt
Oh
for 4 days
no.
from 2 sit-ups.
Uh,
So never felt older yet.
yeah.
Um, okay. Do you have like a bathroom? Wait, or not bathroom? Do you have like a bath, not ritual, but that like a setup that you enjoy? Whether that's, do you ever do like a drink in the bath or maybe a
Oh, when
snack
when
or,
taking a bath?
yeah, yeah.
Gotcha. Uh, typically, so I guess for just general knowledge in advance for this question, I'm a man of finding routine, and then I
Yes.
simplify the routine. So an
He's efficient.
example an example of that is I like to make an omelet in the morning for breakfast. And I have simplified that routine to the point of I no longer break the eggs and stir it together. I just fry the eggs and I make a fried omelet. And just like
Okay.
it works. So do that with a lot of things. When I take a bath, I just get the water warm, put in some Epsom salt, sit in there for a soak, and I watch a TV show. And that's
Oh,
it.
yeah. I imagine a TV show is about as long as you need to be in a bath too. So that probably works out pretty well. Depending
Yeah,
on the
make sure
show.
make sure it's not like one of them hour long. You got to get one of them Office episodes or something.
Yeah. See, at some point, like Disney or some other bad person, um, like decided we're gonna try to pass off a movie as an episode of TV.
Several times. Yeah.
And I don't I am I'm convinced that what happened was is they shot a movie and they had all this extra material that somebody was just so I have to keep every shot that they're
Hmm.
like, we'll just turn it into a TV show. We'll release 5 episodes. It'll be great. It's like
Hmm.
that's my I'm full of conspiracy theories. That's my conspiracy theory.
That's a
Um,
hot take. Interesting.
yeah. And while we're talking about TV, I have to take a minute and say how much I absolutely despise HBO Max, now just Max.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, that
Uh,
rebranding
they
was devastating.
they did a dirty rotten tax break trick a couple years ago and canned a bunch of shows, and I signed up for a year at like a sucker.
Mm.
And then 1 week later they canned the 3 shows that I signed up to watch. No joke.
Oh.
Like I told Anna, I was like, oh, they have them. I can't find these 3 anywhere. And I
Mhm.
signed up and they wrote them off as a tax break a week later. And I
Mhm.
went, oh, $120 later. Can't get
Ugh.
that money back. So
You gotta wait for the Black Friday deals. They give you like
I
5 months
know.
for like $3.
I know. It's yeah, yeah, I forget. What I need to do is I need to cancel like October and then re-sign up in November so that way I can get back on the deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
In
yeah,
preparation. Yeah.
yes. In the bathroom, do you ever have a snack or a drink, whether you're on the toilet or in the shower or anything?
Oh, okay. There's a fun. Yeah, it started. So I didn't do things like that, but so in high school, this is a it's kind of a sad story, but also kind of
Okay.
an interesting one at the
Yeah.
same time. I got food poisoning
Hmm.
from Buffalo Wild Wings that put me out of commission for like a week and a half.
Yo, I knew that you had this, and I've heard this, but I didn't know it was buffalo.
Buffalo, yeah, it took me a
Sheesh.
long time to get back into Buffalo, but we're
What?
back, so it's okay.
Wow.
It was a weird looking nugget. Just be careful, anyone. If you ever see a weird looking nugget, just say no. It's okay.
Man.
So the let's see the where was the story going? Oh, there it is. So the food poisoning lasted for a bit over a week, and I got so weak I just couldn't walk. And my parents grew concerned and took me to an urgent care, and they the urgent care misdiagnosed the situation because the top half of my body was fine. I could move just fine, but I had a really hard time moving my legs.
Hmm.
And so they were like, meningitis question mark. And so they
Hmm.
sent me to the hospital where they performed a spinal tap for to see if there was any meningitis and stuff. But there was none. It was food poisoning. My doctor told me that I was because I hadn't had food or water for that long for a while. My body
Right.
was going into like a premature rigor mortis, is how he said it. You were like it started from the bottom, you lost legs, and you were going to keep losing functions as you went up. So uh, I guess they just don't see things like that because food poisoning typically is like you're gonna throw up a couple times for like a day or a couple days and then it goes away. But I guess genuine food poisoning is when you're actually poisoned and you're just
Hmm.
losing function to stuff. Anyhow, uh, while I was having that food poisoning in the hospital, they wouldn't let me go until I could eat until they watched me eat food. So I was like, fine. I don't like hospitals. I had spent the night there and I was like done with it. So I was like, look, I know I'm food poisoned. I know everything you're doing is wrong. So
Right.
I was like, help me to the bathroom. And so they helped me to the bathroom. They gave me a tray. I ate eggs on the toilet as a
The
person watched
eggs.
me, and
Yeah.
I immediately made the eggs disappear both in my mouth and out of my body. And they were just watching me do that. And they were like, "Oh wow, maybe you are." And I was like, "Yes, maybe I am."
What?
But it was from that point on that I became okay with eating in the bathroom. So I was
Yeah.
like, I mean, honestly, we crossed a lot of barriers there. We had someone watch me on the bathroom. We ate in the bathroom, and I had food poisoning. All the three, just a
Yeah.
great combo right there. So since then, it's like I don't really care for having. Okay, this is a little hypocritical, I know, but I'm not a huge
Yeah.
fan of bringing uh, like a glass of orange juice or something open container like that.
Yes. Yes.
If it's like a crack open little
Yep.
or a twist, that's fine.
Yes.
But I'm okay with bringing food in here and eating
Yeah.
that uncovered. So I understand that's hypocritical, but that's life. That's where we're at.
What do you what do you think's the wildest thing you've eaten in the bathroom?
Oh, probably lasagna. I don't know.
Whoa, lasagna? Really?
Yeah, just dinner. Just bring dinner in here.
What constitutes that? Is it just like you're mid dinner and you're like, I gotta go to the bathroom
Oh, no, no,
now?
no, no! You don't go in here to use the bathroom. The bathroom is a safe space. Like you get away. It's the one room you can shut the door and be alone. So
Okay.
you're like, I'm gonna have dinner, and then you go to the bathroom and you are alone.
That's interesting. That's new. That's new. So I think what you're doing is less. uh is less concerning because I was picturing like pants down in the middle of a job
Mhm.
lasagna.
Mhm. Oh,
And I'm
oh,
like,
well, that's a lot. I can understand. That's a lot.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yes, I
so
have done that too.
you have.
Yeah,
See,
so
now we're
your
back.
concern is warranted.
So I'm back. Well, it's totally fine. I've heard everything from ribs. Apparently people are eating steak in the
Whoa.
shower. Oh yeah, there Chris Luckman from the church.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh yeah, dude, I had ribs on the toilet." And I'm like, "You did not. Did they the barbecue sauce alone is a bridge too far." Like it is too messy. Like
Wow.
at least lasagna, you got a utensil. Unless you're Garfielding it, but like I can't imagine that.
No,
But
it's either a sandwich, like that's the only finger food, if you
yeah,
will. Everything
do,
else involves a fork or a spoon.
do you ever get in the shower with any? Like, do you ever have any of that food in the
Uh,
shower? Shower
no,
snack?
I think I took a soda pop in the shower
Yeah,
once, but
yeah.
I got like shower water in it, and I
Mm,
remember thinking never again, and I just haven't since then.
yeah, yeah. I always sit it in the very far back. I'm a big polar seltzer in the shower guy. Like,
Oh,
especially my like perfect day as like a I guess Midwestern, even though I don't live in the Midwestern dad, is like I drink a polar seltzer while I mow my lawn, and then I drink a second polar seltzer while I take a shower afterwards. It's like,
nice.
yeah, there's something about like those two things. I don't really need therapy because of that exact process. Like there's something cathartic about it. I don't know. That's probably not true. Um, have you ever taken a dark shower?
Like with the lights off
Yeah.
every morning. Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah, I prefer it. I don't need there's
Oh,
nothing I don't need to see anything. I
let's go.
just it's warm water and you just I know
I,
where everything is in the shower.
Jesse, I am the same. I shower with the lights off.
Uh-huh.
I have done it since college. Um, and you're exactly right. For me, it's I have like a light sensitivity adjustment thing with my eyes. I don't
Hmm.
know. But so for me, the act of getting up and then like turning the bathroom lights on is just it's just not on the table.
Bathroom
And
lights are always so bright. It's
yes,
especially near the mirror. I don't know why, but it
yeah,
maybe purposefully.
yeah. It's so that way women and other people can look at their face, I guess.
Oh, okay.
That sentence is going to get me in trouble. Uh, have you ever eaten an orange in the shower as if it was an apple?
I, no, I don't know if I no that I have eaten an orange like an apple, but not in the shower.
Oh, so
With the
it's
peel. I
worth
peel it first and then
Yeah,
I
yeah,
eat
you
it.
peel it. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
you peel it. But then instead of like caring about the juices and getting the plugs and like maintaining, it's just full juice flow, just
Oh,
just
wow.
juice everywhere because it just rinses
That sounds
all.
kind of fun. I've no, I've never
Yeah,
done that before.
it's worth. I always it's worth doing once. Um, I get there's a stigma of like if you're the guy that carries an orange into the shower every shower, like you gotta chill. But there's something cathartic about like I don't have to worry. Normally I have to be concerned about how much juice is everywhere, and
Mm,
now I don't.
yeah.
And as like having a beard, it's the game changer because
Oh, I
it's like, oh
bet.
yeah, yeah, that and ice cream. Like I
Oh, ice
cannot eat an
cream.
I cannot eat I've never taken an ice cream into the shower yet.
I feel
I'm
like
I'm willing
I
to
mean, if
I'm
you're
willing to
taking a
try.
warm shower, you wouldn't wanna take ice cream in there.
But there's something about the cold and the hot that I don't know. It appeals to me. But like I am not physically able to eat an ice cream cone and not look stupid. Um, because it
Oh,
doesn't
an
matter
ice cream
how
cone. Oh,
yeah,
I'm with
it,
you.
it
Okay.
doesn't matter how I lick the cone.
Okay. I was
The
imagining
whole
a
it's just
spoon. I was like, "Really? I didn't." But
ooh,
I
but
got you.
but
I
I could
got
get
you.
in on that too.
Yeah.
That and s'mores, campfire s'mores.
Oh,
There
I
is no
bet.
path forward that is
Yeah.
not just marshmallow face. Um, Yeah. Uh, have you ever, Jesse? Have you ever performed a waffle stomp?
Oh.
Do you know what a waffle? It's okay if you don't. Do you know what a
Uh,
waffle stomp is?
I have an idea. Why don't you go ahead and tell me?
Yeah, so a waffle stomp is when a person is in the shower and the urge to take a poop hits so fiercely that they
Yep.
just go
I was
into the bottom
afraid.
of the shower
Yep.
and then they just kind of river stomp it right on down the
Mm-hmm.
drain.
Mm-hmm.
So have you ever done that?
No. I am proud to say that I have never done that.
Very good. Um, that is the correct answer. Some of us will fail the test.
Okay.
Uh,
I think in terms of waffling,
yeah,
the closest I've gotten to that was pooping off a bridge, but
you did,
it was a
huh?
railroad bridge, so it had slats every few feet, so it was really
Yes.
really high up over the river, and you just
Yeah.
find a slat and you just put yourself in between that slat and
W-
just let
what
it go
river?
for, well, of course, the Willamette.
It already is full of it
But
anyway.
yeah, that was the idea.
Do you? When was this? Can you say
Yeah, yeah, it
how?
was. I was in high school,
Okay,
so
that's an acceptable answer.
that was like what, 12, 13, 14 years ago.
Man, dude, pooping off a bridge is pretty. That's a pretty strong move.
It's
Like
pretty fun.
I would argue that's a good bathroom story. Uh,
Oh, you're right. I didn't even think of that.
dude, I'm telling you, everybody has something, and we just have to dig.
Okay.
Um, were you accompanied?
Yes. It
Yeah.
was a canoe trip. We
Yep.
started in the Santiam River and it turned into the Willamette. We would just find an island and we would sleep. We called ourselves the Pumpkin Pirates. It was a wonderful adventure. We climbed up this climbed up this railroad bridge that went over the Willamette,
Yeah.
and we were following footsteps of those who had been before us in that
Yeah.
they had hammered anything like shoes. They would hammer anything onto the way so you could climb up the bridge. So there were planks of
Oh,
wood, driftwood, shoes, uh, an oar. There were random things just hammered into this structure that you would climb up. Very sketchy. And
I
then
was gonna
once you
say
get
that
up,
sounds terrifying.
yeah, once you get up to the top, then we would go to the far side of the bridge, do our business, which was fun because you would wait for like it was several
Sploosh.
second drop. You would
Yeah.
push and then you would wait for the kablunk. It was so
Oh
satisfying.
my gosh.
And
We're
then we would go to the other side. And just for clarification, the stream was going the opposite direction, so we didn't have to worry about it. So we went to the other side of the bridge, and then we would do some bridge jumping. We'd jump off, and
oh man. If I wasn't like moderately afraid of heights, I would find this spot and
oh, I
climb
was
up there and
terrified. I was terrified. I'm terrified of heights, but I only jumped off once, and I was the last one to do so because of a choo choo starting to choo choo its way,
oh.
and they were like, Jesse, you gotta jump, and I was like, oh, I gotta jump, and you could feel the rumble of the
Oh
choo choo
no,
coming.
nope.
So I took a quick jump off the bridge, but it was far. It was not anywhere near. We just heard it. We could see
yeah.
the poofs of its choo
But still
chooiness.
like who that's man. That's awesome. Um it's worth the climb just for the bathroom experience.
Yes,
So if you're in the shower in the urge to go to the bathroom hits, what do you usually do? You're
immediately
not
turning off the water, drying off, going to sit down on.
do do you ever get back in after?
Oh
Like it's
yeah,
like I have to re-shower now?
yeah. It's a minor inconvenience. You just
Yes.
get back in.
Um so there's a third group of people. So there's the waffle stomplers, and then there's the people who get out and do the normal. But then there's a third group of people
There can't be.
that exist
Uh-huh.
that, and I only, again, I found some strange things on the internet, that they will poo either into the bottom of the shower, or the real debased of humanity will poo and
No,
catch it, and
no.
they will like throw it into the toilet
That's
and not
not.
even exit the shower.
Oh my goodness.
And so for me, um 99.9 0.5% of the time, I am exiting the shower doing exactly what you have described.
Yeah.
The other 0.5%, I will and have stomped it, but I
Point
cannot
5.
imagine. Yeah, there's
I
there's
have
been
never been
exactly
more disappointed in humanity than I am right now.
that somebody out there is catching it and throwing it.
Someone's catching their
That
Well,
Reddit
what
is
if
a
you keep
dark
the
and
lid
scary.
down on your toilet? You can't toss it.
Well, yeah, Reddit's a dark and scary wasteland.
Oh no.
Is what I've learned, and so there's like pages that are like bathroom horror stories, and like, I mean, there was people saying like, "Oh yeah, I just catch it and toss it around the corner toilets right there." To people, it's like, "Oh yeah, I don't like stomping it, but I will poo in the bottom and then like scoot it to the back of the shower and then wait
And
till I'm done and then
and
collect." I'm like,
and we're
just
okay with just saying that?
apparently people are fine with saying that on the internet.
Wow.
Yeah, those people give me courage to admit the handful of times that I have stomped it.
Well, I
Um,
mean, that's
and
that's
one was for
okay.
research. One was because I felt it had been too long since I had done the last one. And one was necessity. Like, all of the bathroom stalls are full, and there is going to be there's going to be a bad thing happening. And
Oh,
also,
interesting. I never
yeah,
have had the
and
I've never
there
had the
was no.
urge while in a dormitory. I've never had that happen.
So, so it was our church. I was there with the
Okay.
young adult guys.
Mhm.
Yeah. Michael Wall, our custodian, he's aware. I've atoned. But uh, yeah, the young adult guys were, one was showering because we had done like an event, and then the both bathroom stalls were full, and I'm
Mhm.
in the shower, and I'm like,
Mhm.
"Yo, is the toilet open?" Nah, I'm like, "Oh no!"
Okay.
And so I did.
I've lived in a
Yeah,
dorm. I've done the
yeah.
experience. I can
It was
understand.
the only one of necessity. The
Yeah.
others were research and just guilt that I asked so many people and hadn't done one so recent. So, but yeah,
Well,
uh, so a no to the waffle stomp. Um, do you have any pet peeves, like bathroom pet peeves? Things that people do, and you are engaged to be wed,
mhm.
soon to be wed. You might find, I find that people find things that are pet peeves once they share bathrooms more
Hmm.
frequently. Do you have any bathroom pet peeves? Uh,
I think the strongest one is the way the toilet paper is flipped. I think that's probably the strongest one. Um, I don't care about the toilet seat up, down, whatever. We had
yep,
pets growing up, so we kept it down because
yep.
we had a cat fall in once trying to try to drink some water. And ever since then,
Oh,
we're like, you know what? We're gonna just keep the toilet down forever, and that's been my go-to.
yeah,
Uh,
it's wise.
yeah, just keep it down.
Yeah, it's fair. I don't want it to seem insensitive, me asking you this, because after you have shared your story of Buffalo Wild Wings, but I ask people, like, is there a restaurant establishment that does you the most foul?
Sure.
That just is, and is it
Uh,
Buffalo? Maybe like,
no, I mean, I think it used to for sure. I don't know. I don't eat there a lot anymore.
yeah,
I like the
that's
experience,
fair.
right? I like the TVs and
Yep,
sometimes I'll
yep,
go get a shot, but I'll go with friends and I'll let them get something and I'll just have
yeah.
one or two. But I think this is also compounded because I'm kind of lactose intolerant. I wasn't
Oh,
always, but
yeah.
I have become because I had too much is what my doctor shared with me.
Wait,
So I
that's a thing.
yeah, I had too much milk, specifically too much moo cow milk. So I would say Little Caesars, sometimes affectionately called Little Squeezers.
Yes. Whew. You just that double. You ever get the double cheese? The
Not
extra most
anymore.
best.
If
It's
I
an
have to plan
astronomical
I
amount
have
of
to
cheese.
plan my evening right. If I'm gonna eat Little Caesars or pizza, I have to plan my evening knowing I'm gonna be back in my bathroom by a certain time.
Ah, yes.
I have these pills I can take. They're like these chewable
Lactase.
things
Yep.
and that
Yep.
that help with it. But
Yes.
for some reason, Little Caesars knows a workaround around those little
Oh
pills,
shoot. They've got like
and
extra lactose.
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't had straight from New York like that really runny,
Oh yeah.
drippy pizza in a long
Ooh,
time. I that might do it too.
yeah.
But
I
Little
I
Caesars
do
for
have
sure.
so Little Caesars, big fan. Yeah, I have a lot of follow-up questions about the comment about drinking too much milk.
Sure. What's up?
Did your doctor tell you how much was too much? Like dairy?
I not like a quantity, like a number, but
Yeah.
I would have like a gallon every 2 days
Whoa.
of moo cow yeah, milk.
Dude, your parents were buying milk back then.
Oh yeah. Well, so I'm the youngest of five boys,
Okay. Yeah,
and
they're used to it.
we all drank. I have a my second oldest brother. He's very tall. He's very large. He's made of pure muscle. He's U.S. Marine, deputy sheriff, just everything a man is. And he would drink a gallon a day. So I was trying to keep up, right? I was
Oh
like,
my gosh.
we just liked milk. We just liked the texture. We
Yeah,
liked the thickness. We liked the taste. We'd have it with cereal. We'd have it as just in a glass, just anywhere.
man.
Yeah.
You had me scared because I love cheese. Like
Oh.
um and I was fearing that like maybe cuz I'm having a little bit of like if I get too pizza friendly,
Mm.
I yeah, I'm noticing some changes. And so
Oh
I was
no.
getting a little scared that I was going to have a similar like, hey bud, you
Mm.
over lactosed yourself into an intolerance. But yeah, half gallon a day is
Mm.
that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I'm like I'm 50-50 on milk. I pretty much only drink milk if I've dipped anywhere between 4 and 6 Oreos in it. Like it's like you talk about rituals.
Yeah.
I have an Oreo eating like I have a ritual with I have to have at least 4,
Okay.
and I don't know why, but it's something about like the I'm going to sound like an absolute crazy person since I haven't done that yet. But it's something about like the heat of the cookie. 4 Oreo cookies worth of heat dissipating into fridge cold milk puts the milk at the exact perfect temperature to be drank.
Hmm.
Anna thinks I'm absolutely insane for it. She does like, yeah, but that's pretty much the only time I'm drinking white milk.
Hmm.
Yeah, is if
What
I'm at
about
least
after a
4.
brownie or something, just to wash it down? You know.
Uh, maybe I'll usually either just go for I honestly I'll go for coffee. Like if I'm trying to
Oh,
wash down a sweet, I go for that bitter coffee.
really?
Like oh
Ooh,
yeah, I love coffee. Um,
interesting.
I would make the absolute worst Mormon because I'm just a huge fan of coffee. Like
Yeah, you would.
I um for many reasons. But it's just yeah, I love coffee. I don't like the milk cutting peanut butter. It doesn't do it
Oh,
for me.
okay.
To me, it just makes me phlegmy.
Uh,
Um,
I
yeah,
can understand that. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, 4 Oreos at minimum, 4 Oreos, no more
Mhm.
than 6. If you get more than 6, it's too much sugar.
Yeah.
There's probably some health person out there that's like, you ate 4, but like, yeah, 4 to 6 is like the butter zone. Um,
It's kind of that same idea of like drinking the leftover milk from cereal, right? Like a good
yes,
cereal.
yes. Uh, boy, sorry, Jesse. We're deviating from bathroom, but that's fine. This show often does. So the other thing that's kind of deviant that I do with milk is I put it on cake.
Excuse me?
Cake. So you get like a slice of cake.
Yeah.
My preferred way of eating cake is with no frosting and just top it with just a little bit of white
Oh
milk.
my gosh.
Yeah,
Wow.
and then it kind of gets really soft, and by the end it's kind of like milk mush, but it cuts the sweet a little bit.
Wow.
yeah, as
You're
time
not a
goes
fan of
on,
frostings of
no,
frosting.
no,
I'm in the same boat. It's a little too.
yeah.
I don't
I
know.
used to I used to give my father such grief because when I was a kid, he would scrape every piece of cake that was ever put in front of him. And
Mm.
just the pile of frosting would be on the side of his plate. And I used to make fun of him. I'd be like, "Dad, come on, it's not even that bad." And I do that now. I have
Oh.
become my father,
Mm-hmm.
and I yeah, I'm less fond of sweet as time goes on, and so I look for
Mm-hmm.
that bitter, that thing to mute it. But the other is if you ever looking to level up your cereal,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you peanut butter the inside of the bowl.
Oh my.
So you spread peanut butter all over the inside of the bowl, and then you cereal, and then you milk and you just get like a little spoonful of peanut butter and
Oh
cereal.
my
Oh
goodness.
yeah. Now the dish job, like the washing of the dish after, you gotta let it soak because that peanut butter is going to be foul in there. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's
What kind of cereal?
I've done it with most every type. It's better with like chocolate varieties
Uh-huh.
or personally,
Oh.
personally, my favorite cereal to do it with is Lucky Charms because
Really?
they're kind of already kind of plain and a little bit sweet, but then adding that peanut butter to them is
Yeah.
just it's just right. Um,
Wow. That
yeah,
is
and
incredible.
it works with fruit cereal too. It's kind of like a straw
Hmm.
peanut butter and jelly situation with the fruit
Mm.
cereal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Cinnamon ones are weird, but
Ooh.
it's
Peanut butter
perfectly fine.
cinnamon?
If you like peanut butter on French toast, cinnamon French, it's
Yeah.
like that. Um, yeah, Anna introduced that to me, game changer. But
Wow.
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
uh I'll try it. I'll get my fiance. We'll have a date and get some
yeah.
peanut
There you
butter
go. Oh,
cereal.
little cereal evening.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Hmm.
You'll have to tell her. Yeah.
We'll
By the
listen to
way,
this episode
there's
while
gonna
we
be a
do it.
podcast that comes out. You should know. No.
She's aware. I sent her some
Perfect.
pictures.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. That's awesome. Um, well, cool. Do you have any parting bathroom wisdom to leave us with?
Oh
Good
wow.
advice, bathroom knowledge, anything you want to share?
Uh Man, you know when you sit on a toilet for too long and your legs go to sleep?
Yep.
So it's such it's a tenuous situation because you got to be careful. You don't want to stomp because then your leg will just like reverberate with all the pins and
Yeah.
needles and just it kind of make you lean against the counter for a second and kind of go, oh no.
Yeah.
But a way to help with your pins and needles in your legs after having sit for too long is before you get up to stretch them out before you. So you're sitting on the toilet, your legs out, extended, and just do that a couple times, get some blood flow into them. And then carefully stand up. Make sure you don't stub any toes, because man, you think it's numb, but mm-mm. And and then you slowly take 2 steps backward, and you're good to go. That gets rid of it.
So so this is awesome advice because one of the things that I complain about frequently on the show is I I pretty much have that experience
You're
about
sitting on a bath.
three times a month when I record. And so I'm laughing because I can't think of a funnier visual than somebody on the toilet with their legs straight out in front of them. Uh,
I mean, I
because
understand you depending on the bathroom setup, you might not be able to
yeah,
do that. I just was house sitting for a friend the other day, and their toilet was right in front of their sink, and there was no leg room except to sit down. So if you can't do it,
that's
sometimes
frustrating.
you gotta turn to the side of the toilet. Or the idea, I guess you don't have to do those steps. The idea is to just get blood flow in your legs
Get the
before you
blood
start
moving before you. Yeah.
because you can't. I mean, man, I'll tell you, there's been times I tried to take a few steps. You just can't.
Yeah.
It just hurts, and you just let the pins and needles take over for a second.
Oh man. Oh yeah. I'm gonna be putting some of these methods to use because I just my butt goes numb. Just to
Yeah,
be frank,
yeah.
it's like really. I gotta get a
Hunter,
better seat.
Hunter,
Yes. Yes.
I would so I worked my first legit job. I was a foreman at a blueberry farm,
Yes.
and the farmer was a snowbird. So every winter he would go to Arizona. I would take care of his house. I would just live in it for him all winter. And
Mm-hmm.
that man had a special toilet seat that was padded. It was a padded toilet
Okay.
seat. It was the most incredible thing. I don't know. Little confession time. I sat on that thing for way too long, way too many times, but it did
Huh.
alleviate. It did alleviate a lot of the
Hmm.
butt numbing stuff.
I might have to look into that
Mhm.
because this 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 project's about 4 years in, and the numbing does not seem to. I'm not building up a tolerance, is what
Mhm.
I'm learning.
Mhm.
Um, well, very good. That's sound wisdom. Before I do the parting things, Jesse, can you go ahead and plug Parables things again
Yeah,
for us, for the listener?
sure. So the nonprofit is called Parable Ministries. We have 3 podcasts out that is available anywhere right now. One is called Pickled Parables. It's a Bible teaching podcast where we partner with several different Bible teachers. They teach on a rotating basis. Our other podcast is called My Dusty Bible, and it's a Bible reading podcast. I read through the Bible in the New Living Translation. Each episode is just a full book. And we just launched a third podcast called Commentaries that is hosted by your one and only Hunter Hoover. And he goes paragraph by paragraph through the books of the Bible, starting in the book of James. So those are the 3 podcasts available anywhere that you like to listen to podcasts. We're working on getting them all up to date on YouTube. We have some on YouTube, but we don't have the full backlog yet. If you're interested in following along, just with news and what we're doing, you give us a follow on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok at parable_ministries. And if you would like to reach out just to chat, you can always reach out to me. My email address is jesse@parableministries.com. And chat. I mean, we could talk about questions for a podcast, or we could just chat about anything really. I'm down for that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll be putting links in the stuff down below.
Cool.
And so if you hear Jesse say that and you're like, I can't remember what it'll be down below. They can click those. But yeah, I'm excited to be a part of what Parable's doing. It's been a good experience for me, but also just opportunity to kind of jump in with that. So, but yeah, Jesse, thank you for being here.
Oh, it was my
Um,
pleasure. Absolutely.
yeah, I'm gonna close out the show. I tell people whenever I do the outro things, I always feel like if you've ever seen a dog taking a poop in the backyard, I
Mhm.
always feel like that dog
Mm.
because like it knows that it's being watched, but you
Oh.
can't what it's gonna just it's got to do it.
Mhm.
And so that's me whenever I close the show with a guest. So I'm gonna close the show. Thank you all for listening. As always, leave us a rating or review. We prefer the 5-star option, but we understand. You can follow us at Privycast. Send us an email, privycast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Yeah, go check us out online, privy-cast.com. And yeah, thank you to Kevin and Poddington for the use of their music this week. This has been another episode of Privy. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Jesse, again for being here.
Yeah.
And now, as always, don't forget to flush. And then the part that I always edit out that I just cram the microphone right back here.